folks out there. We love all of y'all. This
Facts.
is another episode of The Guide to Grade A Living. And we're doing it, on the solo dolo tip this time. The boy Rob is at work. For those who've been listening lately and asking us where he is, Rob just works an evening job now, so sometimes he'll be here, sometimes he won't.
You might be able to see him at Blind Barber.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago.
Shout out to Blind Barber as well, the good folks over there. They always show us love. We love you guys as well. Fuck with Mouse Sauce sometimes.
Matter of fact, Rob from Blind Barber, come on the show one day.
That would be lit.
That would be lit.
Nonetheless, we're your hosts. I am Tom Brady.
I am Percy Drip Harvins.
Perky
Perky.
Harvin.
Yeah, Perky Harvins on this episode.
Harvin.
We'll talk more about that later. A quite injury happened to me.
And Rob, don't you give me shit later on when you hear that I introduce myself as Tom Brady either. You get the reference, motherfucker. Anywho, where we start off? How you been feeling about the end of the summer, bro? What's up with the what's your grade and assessment on like the festivals versus like the concert season that came beforehand?
I feel like festival season has killed concert season till wintertime, till like fall. Cause like man, like it started with Coachella and you then went through like fucking Lollapalooza. You went through Pitchfork, went through shit in overseas. Glastonbury, yeah. Like you got so many major festivals. So like when it's time to see like your Drakes and your Migos, you probably seen them at a Rolling Loud, seen them at a Coachella, seen them at a Pitchfork. So when they come in town at the end of the summer, it's like, why would I want to go?
I don't know. I'm kind of on the opposite end of it, but that's just because of like how I like to consume my music and go to my concerts. I prefer something that's not as big as a festival, but like how you broke that down, that's kind of like how it is now. So like summer, springtime, the warmer months, festival season, like Coachella, South by Southwest is kind of like my kickoff of when I think of it or whatever, and that rolls all the way down. It's shit that's still going to go on even after Chicago's ends with like North Coast. You still got like one or two out in L.A., and I think there's like that big one. You got Made in America didn't even happen yet.
You got Tyler's Festival, Camp Flognog. You got Astro World in November.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. So
it's gonna be like it just carries up. Those are warmer states, but like festival season for the most part. I guess it does kind of wrap up coming up around like Labor Day-ish, early September or whatever. And then like the concerts though that come out later on is like really what's done.
How you feel about that Jay-Z Beyonce concert fiasco over the weekend? Crazy fan?
Oh,
or?
you talking about when Buddy rushed the stage?
White Buddy, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. I don't know what that's about. That felt very Stanish. Like I saw rumors of a gun, but I didn't see a confirmation of a gun. They said Buddy had a gun, and I'm like, how did dude get into a whole ass Beyonce and Jay-Z concert in a stadium or arena, and like walk through a metal detector, and have a gun on him? So I don't know how true and authentic that was, but at the same time, like I think that just goes to show how crazy stan culture is right now. And it's funny because I know like a lot of young people didn't even realize the reference of standing being from like the Eminem shit back in the day. And like I thought that was such an easy thing to like get, but it's like older people too that didn't know that like that's where it came from.
My God.
And I'm like, bro, you don't remember that video? Like the dude literally fucking died trying to chase down Eminem. He dressed like him. Like that's the epitome.
Are you a martyr though now in that day? If you are a stan like that?
Depends on how great the artist is, but I think standing in general is like wow. Like all right, so didn't John Lennon get killed by a fan?
Yeah.
Gianni Versace got killed by a fan. Andy Warhol got killed by a fan. But it's like you can't be a martyr because like you killed somebody that like so many other people really, really, really like idolized. I think Andy Warhol did get killed by a fan.
He did get killed by a fan.
Fact check that real quick. He just got shot. It wasn't by a fan. Who wasn't a fan of Andy Warhol? Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Don't listen to Phil.
Oh, he got shot by a fan, but wasn't murdered by a fan. Got you. Okay. I'll take that. But still, like that's wild. You know what? Who's buddy Lee Harvey Oswald? He was a fan of JFK. That's my conspiracy theory of the day. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Shout out to Alex Jones as well.
My conspiracy theory of the day. We're doing a new thing when we do our own show together. We do like this thing called conspiracy theory of the day. And my conspiracy theory of the day is...
Will we do that?
Yeah. You know I love X-Files.
I know you got some wild...
So with that being said, population control.
Oh,
Look me in the eye when I say that one now. So I read this article about how STDs at an all-time high. Where was STDs when free love was around the 70s? Population control. what the fuck is going on?
See, my theory is that a lot of them came from all that filth and dirty. Like, diseases can happen. Like, diseases can be created naturally or, man-made or whatever. But, like, you can do a lot of, like, fucked up shit. Because, like, gonorrhea and chlamydia and, like, classic shit has to evolve into something. Like, those germs and bacteria will eventually, like, grow into something else. I think it's our grandparents' fault for a lot of this shit. Maybe some people's parents, because some of y'all got some old-ass mamas and daddies, low-key.
Yeah, that's true. STDs, but I don't know why it's at an all-time high. Jake, did you finish the article? Why I said it was at an all-time high?
They're probably going to, even if they didn't write about it, I think to blame is also the fact that, like, sex education in schools is very terrible from the theory and concept of consent. Yeah, the gay population, I could see that. But, like, also not teaching young kids really in a safe and effective way about safe sex,
That's
like
true.
using a rubber. Like, I mean, I'm personally on an adult level an advocate of,
Rubbers?
doing it. Yeah.
Well,
I'm an advocate of rubbers,
If
but
I could
also,
jump-
if
hold
you
on, if I
got
could-
somebody that's special
You're
to you.
auto.
If I could jump in
like
from the booth
AutoZone
over
in the
here.
room.
Oh, what's up, Jake?
from the producer booth, there was a story in the news this week that there was a Chinese couple that were 24 years old that were married and were trying to conceive a baby for, I want to say 2 years. I could
Okay.
double check my facts. But it was a long time. It was a couple years at least.
Okay.
And they went to a doctor. They couldn't figure out why they couldn't have a baby. And they said the sex is very painful, and they've been doing it a lot.
Situation.
No, he has been putting it in her ass the entire time.
Yo!
Damn. I don't know. I wish one of my
And the doctor had to explain to him, but that just goes to show, like, sex education. So, like, they literally didn't understand the most basic part of it.
of putting your dick inside of a vagina as
Exactly.
opposed to a butthole. I mean, if you like butthole sex, totally cool with me. But you should at least know where a vagina is.
You should know the lay of the land.
Yeah, you should know especially if you're married to a woman. Like, that's wild. Like, that means he probably hasn't been going down and eating her. If he that's your wife. You haven't gone down on your wife, bro.
How you been putting it in the
What
wrong
type
hole
of
the whole
terrible
time?
husband are you? You're not eating your wife's pussy. You gotta eat your wife's
But
pussy.
just think how confused you'd be at 24. Think how confused you'd be at 24, like, getting that news from your doctor.
I mean, in China.
You think you've been doing
I
it right
don't
the whole
know.
time? I don't know. That was wild to me.
China's
That was a
got
wild
very,
story.
From what I heard about China, no
repressed.
offense to my Chinese fans listening right now.
We got
but
Chinese fans.
We have Chinese fans. We have fans in Hong Kong. Shout out to Mouse House Radio being on the platform. But from what I understand, I heard, though, Chinese have little dicks compared to some of the most people in the rest of the world. So I don't know how painful that could be for her.
We're gonna call that a mild sauce hot take.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, to be fair to
We do not
other
condone
people that
the
aren't black,
views and
like, that's
opinions
the
of
black
I'm not
Kingsley.
using that as an opinion.
No,
I just read.
I get that. And then they do, like, these global surveys, but, like, not every dude goes into, like, these things and gets their dick measured or whatever. But I've definitely heard from women that, like, it's some brothers out there you think would be, like, packing that's not really packing, and it's, like, some people that are surprised. I think it's a little more diverse than what we actually
So you feel like that's an urban myth?
I don't know about all that. I mean, I think in general,
Do urban
like,
myths still exist?
Mm-hmm.
Jay, do urban myths still exist?
Urban myths.
suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of urban myths.
Come
I
on,
don't know,
2018 though.
with the internet going on, it's not a lot that you can really get popping for real. Like, so much, like, rumors get put to shame. Remember, like, Slender Man, though? Like, that's the new urban.
Slender Man.
Not urban myth, urban legend. Urban legend.
All right, so
That's what
hold
it
on, wait.
is.
Before we go too far,
Remember Coney?
wait.
Joseph Cody was real.
I did some research for you guys on the STD thing, and it appears that it is a confluence of both the drugs not being able to kill the diseases anymore because they're resistant,
They've advanced.
as
yes.
well as people just taking care of themselves.
I can see that. I could definitely see that. Drugs, the science and evolution is a real thing. These fucking diseases will eventually evolve. They learn how to. These are active living things that are inside
Super
of us, bro.
bugs.
So it's like, that shit will it will eventually will figure out a way to survive the same way that humans have figured out a way to survive, and any other thing that still lives and exists in this day after being on Earth for, millions of years or whatever the fuck type amount of years you got.
So you're going from being actually from burning to not burning anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like, they said that AIDS is a lot hard. Like, there's a new AIDS that's out there. Like, there's certain diseases that are, like, a lot harder to contain and really just, like, control these days, and that's a real thing. The same way, honestly, like capitalism is just harder to control, my G. Like it's a lot of shit out there that's very alive and active that you can't control no more, and you feel sometimes a little scared about the state of the world because it. I'm not a big Illuminati guy anymore, but like if New World Order was a thing, I think we're living in the beginning stages of that shit for real, for real. Like the rich are getting richer, poor getting poor. There's lack of access to things.
Lack of housing. Shit, you wouldn't even think Airbnb would be a problem, but now it became a problem now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cities, a lot of people can't even afford houses because of Airbnb. A lot of people buying up properties, don't even live in them, Airbnb in them, making money.
Mm-hmm.
It's just killing the people economy, like, the working man. Like, they got to move far out.
So what is something that you would like to see in this day and age that you think would help the world? Just one thing. Like, what would be your one big idea to like help change the world? Or change your community. It don't have to be the whole world. Just like what would be something that could directly and immediately, or like after a couple of months, a year or two, you really see a true drastic effect in your community? What would you like to see?
It's so evil, though.
How's that evil?
What I have in my head, though.
Oh well, shit. Give me your evil thought too. Just give me,
like
just
somehow
speak
delete everybody's credits.
That would be awesome.
Like in the city of Chicago, like if that was possible, like just delete it, like delete a whole file for
That's
everybody.
like fucking like that was what they were trying to do on Fight Club. They were trying to blow up all of those like
That was the premise.
Yeah, well, that's what they were doing, that whole like bombing thing for, to like blow up like credit card companies and like credit agencies or whatever, to delete everybody's like shit. Yeah, I mean in 2018, I don't know, they probably got a cloud. It would be nice to just blow up the main shit though. That's actually really cool because at least you can start from ground one. Not everybody's educated enough on like financial independence and security and shit like that. So I can definitely see some people failing, but to give some people a second chance would be amazing.
Yeah.
To be able to allow somebody to qualify for a loan, and then you actually have a really great business idea and you can't get it because of your credit being fucked up. That'd be awesome. For somebody to be able to get approved for loans for a house as like your gateway
without
into,
being
like, the middle
redlined,
class.
though.
Yeah, like that's a really awesome. That's really dope. I like that.
What about for you?
Yeah, shit. Give me like 5 seconds. I had one I was going to say. I just want to run through my mind real quick and make sure it wasn't nothing else I would say before that. Definitely a combination of like subsidies where you can have like, you can own a home, kind of like the GI Bill, how like the white folks got the Head Start after World War II and they were like approved for loans and were able to buy homes and shit like that. A combination of that with like community gardens. Like, if there's a big stigma that these conservative people have about food stamps and everything like that, even though white people use most of those, white women are the highest, like largest beneficiary of food stamps. But if you want to have a racist angle, like let's have our people get out there in them fields again. Like us supplying ourselves, us building for ourselves, us sustaining ourselves, like not no slavery shit, like some real sustainable, like self-growth, self-determination type shit. Like,
growing your own watermelon.
Like exactly.
No hot take.
Instead of it coming from Mexico, like.
Can you imagine watermelon from King Drive, 57th? Random number I threw out there. I would love watermelon organically grown.
I feel like that's a reasonable. If you got me a vacant lot where I get a lot of sunshine, I think those would grow very well in Chicago. Like, for what it's worth.
Shout out to Boxville, man.
For what it's worth, like we're in what's considered the breadbasket of America. So when we're talking about, like growing foods, sustaining yourself, really like living off the fat of the land, this is a prime area. Chicago's very polluted. Like that's definitely a thing. But if this was a clean slate, it would be love. It would be love, man.
But it's also like you said, it's polluted. Also on the whole crime and economic way, like.
I mean,
all our governors damn near been indicted, right? Wait, is that a fact check, Jake? Like
all governors have been indicted.
Most of them have been indicted.
So do y'all think? Does anybody have a rumor around her why he be getting indicted anytime soon?
Blagojevich.
He got indicted. I remember
George Ryan.
We know about him. He was the best.
George Ryan as well. There's one right before that.
George Ryan was.
But Ronner's had some weird things like backdoor deals that literally like on the back porch of his house.
Give me a rumor, like.
What was the chocolate milk, white milk thing you were telling me earlier?
Chocolate milk, white milk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was at the Thompson Center to show how he's for equality. To do that, he
I saw him drinking that chocolate. Oh,
he poured white milk into chocolate milk and said, "This is."
Yeah. I mean, that's not an indictment. That's just like a very distasteful way of saying that you're for diversity, though. Like, why would he go to jail for that?
No, that's not anything.
Oh, okay.
That was just a thing he did once.
Laugh.
It would be tight if you could like actually throw racists in jail, or like people who do like stupid racist shit for like a week, just to like get up in there with like niggas who really been in the system. Like that would be awesome. Like maybe you'll understand it, maybe you'll get beat the fuck up, but I'm okay with both of them.
Jake, so you feel like if the white people, the tiki choices, if they get thrown into jail for like 24 hours or 48 hours, you think they'll be able to be, cool again?
Funny thing about that is I think Vice did a piece where they went back and like looked up all those guys, like by finding their people found out who all those people were because they like took their pictures and they you know how the internet works. They figured it all out. They like tracked them back. A lot of those dudes got like lawsuits, lost their jobs, like their lives. That's why there were so few people this year at that shit.
They turned on the white man.
They turned on the shitty white man.
Oh, that's right. Jake's a white guy.
Jake's a good white guy.
Jake said that Charlottesville was the first time that he really felt like, damn, like they look at white men a certain way, and he has to really go out of his way to say, I'm not like them.
Shit,
I don't think I have to go out of my way, but yeah, like.
Well, you should go out of your way. You should go out of your way.
Too bad the camera cannot pan on Jake right now. You know how I feel? I felt that way.
That was also a very white man line to use.
I felt that way.
Yeah, motherfucker.
White man line.
Yeah, shit. But nah, I feel you. You shouldn't have white guilt just for white guilt's sake.
No, because we want white guests on our show, so we don't like white guilt.
No, I mean like I definitely get it, but it's like it's like. It's just a little different, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, that's real. That's real. I will say, from knowing you though, you've definitely given me enough stories of like, hey, I ain't racist, bro.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that to you.
You haven't said that, but that's your bottom line.
You know what
you give me a down ass story. I'm like, Jake, I know you down, bro.
I never seen that movie. Hey, hold on, guys, hold on. I never seen that movie Hardball. But you remind me of Matthew McConaughey in that movie.
That was Keanu Reeves.
Same thing.
Same thing.
But you remind me of that guy. You know, he helped the black guys out from the projects. He helping out a lot of minorities.
Wow.
Hot take of the day right there, motherfucker.
Number 2.
Oh, wow. Nah, but
some nigga told my homegirl he was at Hardball. That was his pickup line. Like, what?
I will say full and honest disclosure. Jake is awesome. I've been fucking with Jake for like a while now. Jake is a really cool dude. He's also like the biggest purveyor. He is our executive producer over at Miles Sauce. So we love him a lot. We do appreciate everything he does.
Thank you,
It's
man.
ups and downs, hard times, this, that, and the third. We like young and still starting, but the glow up is real and the come up is definitely already being attained. So make sure y'all pay attention. That was my little NPR promotion for the company, though. Back to some real shit.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. No. What was the next thing on your list, though? The Nicki Minaj situation. Let's get back to that and these tours and this shit. So you was talking about Nicki. You was talking about somebody else.
Oh yeah. So that's what I want to talk to Jake.
Segue,
no, that's what I want to talk to Jake about really though. So it came to the point of me basically writing down the whole Nicki Minaj shit on the whole list or whatever, and it was just like, all right. She's beefing with Travis because of Travis sales.
Which is stupid.
And I'm like, Travis sales is through merchandise. But he's
which
is awesome. There's good merchandise. And she put out.
Better than hers. That Don C collab is trash.
Exactly.
I listened to Queen Radio. I'm sorry, one quick thing. I listened to Queen Radio when she talked about why she did it, and she was like, "Yeah, like I just feel like girls don't really have anything that like says we like sneakers and shit too." It was like on that type of angle. And I'm like, "Gee, I feel you, and we know like girls that do wear sneakers that's up on game, that cop shit, all of that. So like we know that exists, and like there are women that are doing that for themselves and taking care of that. Still growth and room in the market, but that's being handled. What I will say though is Nicki Minaj's devoted Barbie fans that's gonna go out there and buy her merch are not fucking sneakerheads, bro. That was a terrible business decision, and Don C or whoever the fuck made that shit, probably one of his interns, were very trash on that. It doesn't look good. If it did look good, I would probably say, wow, I might actually want this. It don't look good, bro.
I wonder, was it the first idea and it said yes?
I don't think Nicki's camp is actually those type of people to authorize it, because you got, you know, sometimes you pitch that to the people that you working with. Like, they probably hit them up like, yo, like, we would like y'all to, you know, like, make this shit for us, whop the bam. And then, I don't know. Like, obviously, I don't know. This is how I imagine it to happen. So I can always be
I
corrected
can
if
imagine
wrong.
that Nicki hit up Don, and Don was like, all right. And she was like, all right, I'm going to do the major cities. And he was like, all right, cool. And it went that way. And it went very south. I feel like Nicki's career
I don't know where it
very
went south. I just think that, like, he didn't care. Whoever the fuck over there made this
I
shit
feel like
didn't care
everything went
enough about
south.
that.
Like, I feel like her lineup for her music went south. I feel like her singles, like, had there been a strong Nicki single, really? Like,
Bro, I don't. Well,
Chun
the
Li
thing
should have been that
was,
single.
like, I was never really fully a fan, but I have been a long time supporter of Nicki. Like, I do fuck with diversity. Like, I do feel like there should be more lady voices in hip hop, especially with it being so misogynistic on top of it being very male dominated. So I support it. I didn't. It was like young Nicki, like fucking with Gucci Mane, early like Young Money CMB type shit. That I was really, really, really a lover of Nicki Minaj or whatever.
So you
but
think
like the
she-
Barbie era and post that, like no, she's not good, bro. She's not a good rapper.
so you think that Cardi B's career is
I don't think Cardi
in a
has
way-
longevity. All
in a
right,
way
so
affected Nicki Minaj?
full like I'll put it out there now, cause like once again I've said it before.
I'd
I've
say
said it
coming.
again. I'm opinionated, and I'm somebody that know what the fuck they talking about too. So I hope whoever might disagree with what the fuck I'm saying reaches out to me, because we could talk about this. But I don't think that like Cardi or Nicki is really that great of a rapper.
True.
And honestly, I don't like on some like just overall just objective shit. Like I think that both are well. I think that Nicki is very technically skilled as an MC. She's very capable.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that Nicki Minaj all of a sudden, like, I don't think she's like a GOAT. Like, she's not by any means. She's capable of being a GOAT, but she's not. Cardi, very gimmicky. Very gimmicky. Like, she has an image. She's gimmicky. Like, she's not made. She's self-made, but
Do you
as
think a
she's-
Cardi B tour with Future would sell out more than a
Do you
Nicki
think-
Minaj and Future tour would do?
You think Cardi
Yeah.
B is self-made as
well,
well?
Nicki Minaj is what I like to refer to as irrelevant. Like, she's not relevant right now, and that's something that like her and
you
her
think
team
that's
really
her
have to-
fault?
At the end of the day, you have the ultimate say so in who you hire as management, creative direction, all that shit. I will also take into consideration, like, thank y'all for bearing with me, because this is about to be a whole little thing. This is a section in the show.
Oh, shit.
But, like, women MCs unfortunately have to do a lot. Like, there are also phenomenal MCs that, like Tierra Whack. I just want to throw that out
Tierra
there.
Whack.
Tierra Whack is one of
Who is Tierra Whack?
You don't know about Tierra Whack?
She got
The
it.
Rob
about Rhapsody.
the Mumbo Jumbo song or whatever. Yeah. You remember that from a couple, like, that was months ago we were playing.
You really
at the crib.
tried to hit that there.
And,
Mars.
like, she dropped a project. It was a mixtape, but it was, like, 15 songs, but they were all, like, a minute. It's beautiful, bro. Like, it's a beautiful project. It's other ones out there, too, like Georgia and Mudlow.
Rhapsody.
Motherfucking Rhapsody. Yeah, like, it's a lot of
Rhapsody.
people. Like, Rhapsody's
hasn't been
phenomenal.
getting played for years.
Like, I love my Queen Key, but, like, that's the thing. I love City Girls, but, like, these are – my whole thing is this, and I say this to a bunch of fans of theirs, and it just is more of a disappointment than, like, a write-off of them. But none of them really sound original. A lot of them are, like, almost recreating the same cadences or, like, reinterpreting the same songs that they were, like, fans of of young female MCs
There
that
was-
they grew up around.
there was a woman-
which is awesome, but like I want to hear people make new music.
Well, I was gonna
And
say
they're
there
not
was a woman
really
in
being
the UK
artists.
named Lady LaSure that I was feeling for a while, but then she got signed to a label, and the music they kind of put her in that box again. I felt like
That's the downside of being a lady MC. I feel like, which is unfortunate. Like
It didn't always used to be
it's
like
not
that.
a
I mean,
write off at any
Missy-
of these ladies'
Missy Elliott
talent
was one of the
by
most
any
inventive
means.
rappers we saw growing up.
Yeah, and like she's a phenomenal producer, singer, songwriter. She could dance her ass
China
off.
It's not like
White
it,
was
it's not
nice.
like it can't
Everyone-
happen. It's happened.
I mean,
We've seen
she
it
was
happen.
she was decent, but like China White was not gonna be a goat like Lady MC.
Shauna was GOAT.
Shauna wasn't no goddamn goat,
No.
bro.
She could have
Like,
been.
She's on the same caliber of Nicki Minaj, just like technically talented, but you
Nah.
didn't allow
You know who
Nicki
I think?
Minaj
Hey,
is
you
better
want to hear a
than
hot
Shauna.
take? You want to hear a hot
Technically
take?
skilled
Yeah,
MCs.
better
I'm just
career.
saying that they're both
I got one for you,
technically skilled. I'm
Kingsley.
not saying one's better than the other.
I
but
would-
they're both technically skilled.
I won't stand on a soapbox for this, but I would wager to say that Ja Rule may have killed the female rapper
How?
by putting so many female rappers on the songs
fuck
and then
did he put
disposing
on?
of them. Like,
Hey, you're right.
No,
He would-
J Lo rapped a
Charlie
verse.
Baltimore.
No, Charlie Baltimore.
That
There was
was
a
it.
lot
That's
more.
not
No,
so
they had
many.
the whole
That's
Murder
not
Wait,
Inc.
so
whoa.
Murder
whoa,
Inc.
whoa,
had like
What was the
No,
other
like,
female?
that's not
they had
so
like
many.
no, they had like 5.
Vita. Yeah.
What? 2. That's not so many.
Then he
bro.
had
They had several.
I need.
I don't
at
have
least
it in
5
front of
for
me.
y'all to say so many.
Ashanti
we
was
get-
rapping on songs.
That's rap.
All
like
on the
J-Lo's
video.
not a rapper. She rapped the verse. Beyonce
Hey,
rapped
bro.
on that Carter's project, but she's not a rapper. It's one thing to be a recording artist and rap on a verse. It's another thing to be a rapper. Like
You think
Ja
he might have
Rule
just
didn't work with hella,
devalued the
like,
female
ready
voice,
rappers.
though?
Does a rapper
Bro,
even be a
like
rapper
Vita,
anymore?
Vita didn't really like. She had that one fucking single. Charlie Baltimore was fucking with J.C. Moore.
She was fucking with Biggie too.
Yeah, like that's that Brooklyn shit. Like she wasn't no Jersey bitch.
Baltimore.
Y'all tweak. I wish Moise was around. This nigga Moise is devoted to like female rap history, but like y'all tweak. I feel where you coming from, like to a degree, but I can't let the words so many just be allowed right now. Like it's not a lot. Like there hasn't been so many female MCs.
Name some female
with a
MCs.
recognizable
Let's name
name
some.
anyway.
Let's name some. Let's go tit for tat. Let's name some female MCs.
Baby Mother,
Queen Latifah,
Mia X,
China White,
La Chat,
Shauna,
Gangsta Boo,
Trina,
MC Light.
Jackie O.
I want to try to get. It ain't that. I'm trying to get
No,
a Bay Area one.
I was trying to give you a
I was
hint.
about to say. Oh no. It's cool. It's cool. You said Trina.
That was really. all
I
right.
said Jackie O.
Well Trina then, cause I was
I
going.
said Trina and Jackie O.
Oh, you said both of them.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
God
I
damn,
love the
God
Ozone
damn,
magazine.
The
No, I want to try. No, motherfucker. I have one. What's her name? Let's put your ass in my face.
Kamaya?
She's St. Louis. I wanted to throw a St. Louis one up in there. That's why I was trying to do that. John Doe.
Okay. Foxy Brown.
Oprah Gucci.
Lil Kim.
No name.
Ooh.
You can go through Chicago for a minute, low key.
Queen Key.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
I'm talking about on a bigger basis though.
No name is huge.
No, I'm talking about like on a bigger basis though. Like besides.
Oh, I mean, I just
The Brat?
I'm
No one
just
said the
rolling
Brat. That's
off
why I was
that.
saying
Oh, yeah, that's a good
with
one.
the that's a good one. I did not think of the Brat. Sorry, the Brat, because I did love you back in the days. Lady Rage.
Yeah, I was thinking of that one too. Ooh. What was Tiger's artist name?
Eve is raw.
Honey Cocaine.
Oh, Honey Cocaine did have a thing. Krayshawn.
Oh shit. Oh man, Krayshawn was a thing for the.
Who was her little partner?
Lil
Debbie.
Debbie.
Lil
Debbie.
Debbie.
Yeah.
She sell packs.
Sasha
For
Gohart.
her.
Trap Mama. Yeah, Sasha.
We gotta stop just naming female.
No, but like so it's enough out there. But like, I mean, over.
I wonder how many didn't win platinum.
Oh, Rico Nasty. Shout out Rico Nasty, by the way. I like
Cupcake.
him too. Yeah. But like, no, regardless of that, like that's a nice list of names. Like there are women rappers to get into, but like, bro, it's the same thing. Like we talk about equality. Equality is equality. Like objectively looking at this shit, like I give motherfuckers their respect by all means. It's legends out there that are lady MCs, and this motherfuckers out there that's coded in niggas that's lady MCs right now. At the end of the day, though, a lot of them that are getting a lot of popularity are not that raw. On like you
Do you
not
think
making
that's because
really
of?
good
Do you think that's
songs.
because of
It's
lyrical
cute
content,
and
or
it's
because
pop-
of like what they expect from a female?
Technical
rapper?
Or
skills
is it
go
'cause of
beyond just
feminism?
lyricism, bro. Like having a style, actually.
If that was
making
true, then
songs,
Rhapsody would
like,
be
If lyrics
big-
sold, then truth be told, lyrically, I be Talib Kweli. Oh, we love that. I love that line. That's a good one. But like, so I get that. But at the same time, we live in an internet
There
era.
was a
like,
line. Who had the line about Rhapsody if you guys are really about lyricism.
Oh, Rhapsody, yeah, that was a good one too. Like Rhapsody is
Wasn't
one
that
of the
Jay-Z?
best ones. It's somebody, no, like a Kendrick, somebody that
Kendrick
like
did
pays
that.
attention to the shit or whatever. Like, but that's very fucking real because like she is raw. Like she is actually raw, and that's not. It's not
She's
a
been
lot of
out
dudes
rapping
out here
people
that's
while
raw
working
either.
with
Like,
Ninth Wonder for years, and like
yeah.
hasn't gotten any respect. She just got a Grammy nod
She
a couple
get
years
respect.
ago.
She get a Grammy nod is
little bit,
respect,
but not nearly as much as,
she's not getting mainstream success. Is what's not. That's
Exactly.
what's missing. She's getting plenty of respect, and when it comes down to like people that's really into this shit, like yeah, like, and so that's where it sits. Like we not in the jazz era where like the rawest of the bebop artists were also the most commercially successful. Like now we're really into like pop music, and sometimes we equate numbers and spins or even like a platinum plaque with being like really good. It's a
Well, that's
a
also
high
arbitrary
marquee
now as
of
well.
success. Yeah, yes, it definitely is. It's definitely a way to finesse it. Like Travis Scott, that's an awesome business idea. I like it.
They say everybody's been doing
I
that.
like
Like I
it.
think
Yeah, a lot
with
of
Taylor
motherfuckers have
Swift
been.
said. I think with Taylor Swift last album, if you bought the album, you get a free ticket to the concert.
A lot of
some shit
people,
like that.
a lot of people have done that shit. So like, that's super awesome. Like, I'm not opposed to that
Or
idea.
access to the concert.
But
Shit.
honestly, when it comes down to it, because even back in the day, like the rawest, like quote unquote underground artists, like the Roots were performing 300 days out of the year at a certain, like for years in like the prime of their career. They were known as like the road men of hip hop. They were still working with people, helping with production, helping write shit. Like they've been around, like they've been highly regarded. Like Hove did his Unplugged with the Roots. Like they've been in movies, all other type of shit, but they were never commercially successful.
Well, let me jump
Late
off
night
that point
TV
real
show.
quick. No,
Nowadays, we check though.
let me jump off that point for a second. Did you see the stuff about? Oh shoot! Before I lose my point, I lost it.
Think on it for a minute.
Yeah,
But like,
my bad. I had some that jumped off that. I'll think about it.
That's real. But like being like that whole mainstream versus underground dynamic still really exists. I think that's why it's
Even on
and-
social media.
yeah, like social media is
In
a
different
thing.
in different
Like,
categories too.
bro. Like I know I study this shit, so it's like I know how
My
these
bad, I got
numbers work with things. What's up?
The Robert Glasper, Lauryn Hill thing. Did you see that?
Oh, I have
seen
to
a rebuttal.
still-
And
I
that
need to watch his shit and like look at. I've only seen clips, so I don't have. an
Yeah, I
opinion
mean,
just
basically
yet.
what he said is he just like talked about how Lauryn Hill kind of like took the music from those days and like jumped off it to be commercially successful with that one album, and he kind of wagered the guest to say like, why hasn't she made it again? So he said that she's been kind of using other people's music, the people that you're talking about, like the Roots were in that. You know, what I mean? Robert Glasper talked about like getting treated horribly by her when he was going to play with her and stuff like that. So I feel like that's like another part of it. People who kind of take advantage of like people's success at those lower levels and then kind of vault themselves into that commercial success. You're seeing, I think, that more and more, but more immediately with this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, like the Lauryn Hill thing was
real.
cool for like 10 years, but now it's like a real corny ass story to me, bro. It's a real
What's
corny.
a corny story?
Like you come out with one album and that's it, and you just want to just like ride that success. You want to ride that wave.
She's
Technically,
Like you're not a
the
goat.
Unplugged
Like
album
you're
is
not
just
like you're
as
not a
good.
goat. You're
The
not a
Unplugged
goat.
album,
But
she's
his
definitely
Robert
a goat.
Glasper's whole thing
you
was
can-
like
you
she
can
didn't
do a
write all the
one-off and
music.
be a
She
goat.
didn't like, you know,
it
she-
went diamond, bro. 10 million people
Back
bought
then, everybody's buying CDs.
Nobody
in the 90s were
no. People weren't buying 10 million. Like it was a lot easier to go platinum versus with streaming.
We could
but
look up how
people
many niggas
weren't-
went diamond in the 90s.
Bro,
I'm pretty sure
you
NSYNC
can
went
Google
diamond,
it right
bro.
now. Like it's not that many 10 million and it's only going to be some of the greatest albums of all time. Like Diamond, it was not just like a thing. Like Nelly eventually went diamond. I think he went 7 times platinum, like within like the month or like year of like Country Grammar. It took him the rest of this, like he just went
There's
diamond.
92 diamond certified albums.
92 diamond. That's not even 100.
Okay.
That's not a lot of diamond selling
let's hear 'em.
albums.
Do you want all? I mean,
That's some of the major ones.
like
All of them gonna be major.
Nickelback,
It's 10 million people that bought
Creed,
them.
Okay.
Matchbox 20,
Okay.
Santana,
Miles Davis
Supernatural.
gonna be on there.
Nice.
Britney
Jackson
Spears.
gonna be
Hold
on
on,
there.
hold on,
Prince
hold on.
gonna be on there.
Wait.
Oh, these
Yeah.
are singles. These are these are albums. No, these are albums.
I'm about to
Okay.
say, we can't look at the same.
MC Hammer's on there, 10
Makes
times
sense.
platinum. NSYNC is on there, 10 times
I
platinum.
knew it.
These are
Backstreet
all
Boys on.
goats.
Backstreet Boys 14 times platinum. Outkast, Speakerbox Love Pillow,
That
11
did go diamond.
times.
Yeah, that was when they got all them Grammys.
Another Backstreet Boys 13 times.
The 90s was
He was
crazy.
just pop stars. He was just pop stars.
You got Hootie and the Blowfish 16 times.
Woo.
Boys to Men with 12.
I do like Darius Rucker. I can't
don't
Kid
like
Rock
him.
went 11.
Damn.
Britney Spears went 10 again.
Whew.
This is a long list, bro. But like NSYNC again went 11.
Yeah, I mean it's 92, but like 92 in the context of how
Linkin
long
Park
people
went
been talking
11.
about
Linkin
platinum
Park.
and diamond. It's not a lot.
Adele went 11.
Adele.
Oh, that was with
Usher
that,
went
that was that
10.
breakthrough album.
Usher?
That was good.
Confession?
Yeah, Usher Confessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went diamond.
No Doubt went 10.
Somebody.
Eminem, the Eminem show went 10 times.
Rocksteady with No Doubt.
Yo, the Eminem show went diamond.
Really?
Damn.
The Eminem show did?
Not a
Did
good
not
album.
know
And that's
that.
like an
That's
05,
wild.
right? I bought that CD. That's my first
2002.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, the Eminem show was your.
Bad
I'm-
went. Bad went.
Wow.
Michael Jackson bad.
Yeah,
10
I'm like
times.
Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady LP type cat, mixtape shit.
Smashing
Like
Pumpkins
Infinite,
went-
Like, what?
So none of
10
Jay.
times.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
So none of Jay Z CDs are on there.
Not so
I
far.
don't
Hold on, we're
think
still
Hope-
going.
I don't know if Hope went diamond on anything. He barely. He was
Tupac,
barely
All
was
Eyes on
no
Me.
Reasonable Doubt. He ain't close.
Nice.
1996.
Nice.
We
Oh,
got
might have went
Green
5
Day.
times on something.
Damn. So there's
Beastie
no.
Boys 10 times in 1986.
Which one?
There's
that
barely any
was that,
rappers on
that
there,
was that
though.
Paul's Boutique?
No, License to
1986 or-
Ill.
Bang! I was gonna be my second guess. Okay, cool.
Biggie, Life After Death went 10
Makes
times
sense.
platinum.
Makes sense.
Adele again 14.
Damn.
Shit.
Adele's
that
a
was
superstar.
that was in
She's
2011.
A megastar. Yeah, that might have been
21
the best
album.
That's probably one of the
That
most
was
impressive ones.
That was probably the Rolling in the Deep
Eminem
album.
went with the
Yeah.
Marshall Mathers LP went 10 times.
I can see that.
TLC went 11 times.
Which
Damn.
one was that?
Crazy, Sexy, Cool.
Cool. Nice.
95.
Bad
Very
paperwork, baby.
Then, all right, so here's like the top 5 that Billboard has listed of the 92. Number 5 is Nirvana, 1991.
Love.
Nevermind, 10
Yeah,
times
of
platinum.
course. That's
Yo,
a
Michael
good-
Jackson Thriller, check this out real quick. 1982, 33 times platinum.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
It's the greatest record
Life
of
After
all
Death.
time. Just
Yeah,
like
that's
on so many levels. That's the best. That's the
Led
best,
Zeppelin,
that's
hold
the
on,
best
let's finish it,
selling.
hold on. Led
Eagles is
Zeppelin,
best selling just now. And the greatest
1971,
all
Led
time.
Zeppelin 4 went 23 times platinum.
Which one?
Led Zeppelin.
These
Oh,
are
I
the
can
top
see
5
that, I
from
can see
Billboard.
that, I
And
can
then
see
the Beatles, Abbey Road, 12 times
I can see
platinum.
that. I can see that.
And at number 1, they got Purple Rain, 13 times platinum.
Definitely. So I called that early.
R.I.P. Prince.
All right.
But
Yes.
yeah, no Jay-Z albums on Diamond.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know if Jay-Z. I don't think
Any
Beyonce
Beyonce?
went diamond. I don't think Beyonce
Beyonce
went
doesn't have
diamond.
any on this list.
Like
Damn.
it takes a lot to go 10 million 10 mil platinum, bro. Like
I
if
could
Nelly
this,
didn't
hold on,
get out the
wait.
gate,
When was
doing
hold on, wait, let
7
me double
million.
check when this was written as well.
It's the Eagles album now. It used to be Michael Jackson. Thriller,
This was
but
in
the Eagles
2016.
album just
This was-
surpassed
Okay,
it.
so Lauryn Hill's on that list.
For best-selling
She
album.
was not on that list.
Lauryn Hill's not on that list.
Lauryn Hill, well, she up there somewhere. She like 7 times platinum, some shit. You ain't see her at all. It's cool. I ain't even got my shit to fact check, but I will look that up. I would definitely look
I'm
that
back
up.
here. I'm back here working.
No, that's
working
cool,
internet for you guys.
But nonetheless, with all of that,
Good
she's
executive
still
producer.
she's still one of the most commercially successful and most influential. Queen Key just did a fucking.
I
post
mean,
shouting her out.
yeah.
Phil, shout out to Phil for sending me that because she's talked about
But
that at the podcast.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like that CD was very cold. It's very like
Erica Badu's
motivational.
put out more projects, but like Baduism is her magnum opus. That was her debut
I
album.
don't think-
Baduism is her magnum opus. Like that's not always my favorite, but it's definitely one of her. That's her greatest album, bro.
I don't
Baduism
think
is
I
her
don't think
greatest
so. I
album.
don't think so.
Erica Badu.
What
That's
about No
by
American
far.
Part 2?
That does not compare at all. I love all of her shit. So don't get it twisted, but New American Part 2 does not compare at all to Baduism. Culturally, commercially, influentially,
Okay.
none of those
okay,
levels.
okay.
None of
you
those
talking about
levels.
all of that then, like culturally, commercially.
That's what makes you
Okay.
great, bro.
Okay.
Like you technically raw, so like you got. It's like I studied 5 mic classics. Like I had the Rolling Stones like 500 greatest albums of all time book. Like I had this, so like I listened to actual critics. That's how I learned about music, from listening to critics. A lot.
I do
Fuck
too.
you. We had
Too.
Nah, G. You formed something, because that's what we was talking about with when Zig was on a couple episodes ago. Like everybody has an opinion now, but just because everybody have an opinion don't mean your opinion actually stand up to some shit you can write about in a motherfucking museum. Nah, nigga. Like,
Not every
we
nigga-
talking about legacy.
it's
We
like
talking
Rotten
about
Tomatoes.
Hold on.
history. Like
It's like-
curators,
hold on.
Curators are something that are important.
It's
my
like
nigga.
Rotten
You
Tomatoes.
don't just become a curator because like you become a curator the same way you become like
Woohoo!
but no, what institution?
It
goddamn-
depends on the institution.
Oh, so
It
give me,
depends.
Gianni,
Stop
give me
shouting
an
in the mic.
example. Grab that mic.
HBCUs.
That don't, bro. HBCUs have respect. Like it's not like an HBCU.
All right, hold on. Before,
Like
Hold on,
Like,
Mars.
they
Mars.
said they
We're
did
talking
it.
about,
Wait, Mars,
like,
before-
Milk Gallery.
Hold
versus
on.
Like,
Before
are
we
you
dive
serious?
too deep, let's back up for a second. Let's go to the Lauryn Hill thing.
What's up?
Lauryn Hill only went 8 times platinum.
That's still decent. Okay, but I'll take that L. That's still 8 times.
8 times platinum, which is
She's not a diamond.
150
though. Yeah.
albums sold. So like, I kind of feel
Bro.
Kingsley on like 8 times platinum is impressive, but like
Well, one album.
Michael Jackson
I-
went
I-
23
hold on,
times,
hold on.
33 times platinum and kept making records.
Wait. And I feel you with the videos, and I feel you with the time frame, and I feel you with the culture references and all that, and it was hot for that time frame. But bro, it's 07. Okay, you ain't gonna come out with another
So,
version of
alright,
it. Okay,
so-
it's 2017. What happened to it? It ain't a damn remix. Damn, bitch, you still living up the same way. No offense to you, Miss Lauryn Hill, you're not a bitch. But I'm saying in my whole mindset, like, damn, like you can't
Good
think of
catch.
nothing
Good
else.
So this is my two responses. Twofold. One is, do niggas even realize how many albums come out in a year? It's more than 150 albums that come out in a year. So for you, for you to be sitting up here saying it's not in the first 150, I feel you or whatever. Like, yeah, I will concede to the whole like it's not top 150.
Blood
all time.
Orange
I will
versus
get
Miss
that.
Lauryn Hill,
Oh
misunderstood.
man, fuck out of here! Fuck out of here! There would not even be no blood. You man, I ain't even gonna get on that. The other thing though is this: the fact that like you say what, Al?
I feel like worldwide underground.
Mm-hmm. You feel like it's better than
Ooh.
Bodywism. That's cool.
I did not fuck with World
But
Wide
it,
Underground.
while we here, so Alan thinks that New American Part
Shout
2 is
out!
better
Wait,
than,
what is it? What is Alan's Instagram name? So the world can know.
Oh, Young Dissident.
Young Dissident. He said that you can come to the mic real fast. No, you're right here now.
You know what? Fine. Fuck it.
Say
I'm
it,
retiring. I'm retiring. I'm old now. I'm over giving my opinions on shit. I don't have no opinion
We
no
love
more.
your opinions.
Fuck
We love your
y'all.
opinions.
Fuck all
We're gonna
y'all.
shit on you about. if
Fuck
you don't
all
give your
y'all.
opinion.
Exactly.
No, but fuck all of y'all. Because at the end of the day,
You like that? You really like the
I'm
Owen
not
Wilson
tweaking.
thing I put it up.
I'm not
You really like that
tweaking.
Owen Wilson thing I put up.
I'm not tweaking, G. The way that y'all niggas is talking right now is out fucking land.
Hey, the Black Album by Jay-Z 3
Like-
times platinum.
You say
Wait,
what? You say Black Album by Jay-Z 3 times platinum? That shouldn't have been his best-selling album. If
Then
that
that's
was, it's
sad.
fucked up.
That's sad.
Yeah, but whatever. Blueprint should have been more than that at least. But
Damn,
Black Album is one of my top favorite Jay-Z
I would
albums.
think
But
50
it's
Cent's on that
other ones
list.
that deserve more commercial success. Jay-Z is like Jay-Z, so like that's what gets him through. Like he's Jay-Z. Commercial success, like he's had enough of it, but it's really about cultural impact. Like that's what makes him the GOAT. Like he's influenced, inspired so many cats. Like people aspire to Jay-Z levels.
The
as
Blueprint.
as a rapper
How many
slash
times platinum
businessman.
you think?
Huh?
2.
You say what? Who?
Double
Which one?
platinum.
Blueprint. Oh yeah, if Black Album went 3, I would have figured. it
Shit,
would've
Reasonable
went
Doubt just went platinum recently.
Yeah,
like a couple
yeah,
years
that-
ago.
a couple years ago. So like, I'm not surprised by that. Like Hove himself said, if lyrics sold, then truth be told, I'd probably be lyrically Talib Kweli.
You must really love that line, huh?
It's a great line because, see, man, that's what I'm saying. Like,
My favorite
I don't
Jay-Z
know.
line is a little
fuck
bit
the
different.
nigga in the back that was like, who gives a fuck, and the nigga with the institute. Bro, like, history is important.
Shout out to the
and
live audience we
a
have today.
lot, yeah. Shout out to the homies in the background on some real shit. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all definitely were great energy in the room. But no, like niggas go to school for this shit, my nigga. Like niggas be acting like this shit is not important. Like you don't learn everything in the streets.
You can't
don't
lie
learn
on
everything
LinkedIn
from just like working
make
with your
it?
hands.
Yeah, I
and,
don't
like,
think
making
Jay-Z's
it
ever had
yourself.
anything go more than.
I'm saying this.
No,
You
I
could be
don't
a-
form all of my opinions off that, but I do educate myself based off of the actual context of how critics criticized back then, not nowadays. I don't listen to what the fuck all these bloggers and all this like
Hey.
post-internet
Whoa,
shit is
whoa,
about.
whoa, whoa,
I'm talking
whoa,
about
whoa.
actual history, like going
Damn.
and educating yourself. Like I mean, I'm not.
You on a
I
blog right now, bro.
I blog.
We're not on
my
a
bad.
blog. We're on a
But, like,
website.
There you
but
go.
No, on some real shit,
A
like
magazine.
our context versus like some dude that was like, I don't know, it wasn't Gloria Velez, but it was a Gloria something, or a Latina that was like the editor of Vibe magazine, like the 90s and early 2000s or whatever, like when Vibe was like the shit. If she tells me something, I'm going to listen. I'm not going to say.
Shout
I
out
don't give a
Sean
fuck,
Grant
or,
from
like,
Three
fuck
Piece,
your institution.
editor over at the Source right now.
Oh yeah, shout out to Sean. Definitely shout out to the Sean. Another one of our Miles says, buddies, this nigga's lit. So we in it all the way.
What's
but
going on at the
that's a
Source?
real thing, bro. No. Oh, Sean Grant.
I know. I'm just saying what's going on at the Source though.
I'm not sure, like, but it's
He's got a lot of good stuff coming.
Okay.
So it's weird. All right, so we could actually delve into another little topic real quick.
Does he know Benzino?
I hope not.
I hope he does.
I hope
Bro,
not.
I love Benzino.
I want to see.
I feel like
Benzino
Sean
from
probably
afar.
does.
I don't want to meet Benzino. I
wouldn't
see
put
him
it past
from
Sean.
afar. Like, I would let me see Benzino drunk.
I would like to meet
Like,
Benzino,
that's what I
G.
wanna see.
I remember watching this video on Source.com having net zero internet
Real.
dissing
All right,
Eminem.
So would you guys guess that Jay-Z's never gone more than 3 times platinum?
I can
You
believe
just
it.
said he
I
went
can
3
believe
times
he only
platinum.
sells out.
I just
you
went
said
through all of
more
them
than.
just to be
He
sure.
sells out a lot of shows.
Like Hove. That's what I'm saying. Like Hove
He's a
was
showman.
never like insanely but that's the thing with hip hop. That's part of why.
That's
he's
just
MC,
interesting,
because
is all,
like
yeah.
he's not MC Hammer. MC Hammer is up there with all those albums. Like MC Hammer is one of the greatest hip hop entertainers of all time. He's a
Hammer
goat.
does not have nearly as much money as Jay-Z.
See, that's what.
Diversify your portfolio.
That's what I'm getting at, bro. Like we talking too many different numbers. Which is why I'm still about studying art. Like, I can't always talk about art with niggas who don't make art. No disrespect, no shit like that. No disrespect, no shit like that. But like,
Doesn't make art.
it's a
The way you
different thing,
shifted,
like,
you pointed his
No,
fingers
cause
this way, like it felt like a
Cause
jump
no,
cut coming from us.
I don't know- I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
because
I make art.
I've been with niggas in a room, and
The
then niggas
podcast.
would be like,
They
you
can
know,
produce
like,
it.
who
The
out the
fuck?
band. But like,
these
no,
words.
it's a different context. Or even still, when Zip, I had a conversation with Zip years ago, when I was like, I'm an artist and he's an artist or whatever. He was like, you a different type of artist, because like Zip makes music. So for me to be able to give my opinion about music, even with me being such a music nerd and having a valid opinion that's respected amongst music makers, I still don't make music.
I mean, in
it's
all
a
honesty,
line that you don't cross.
when I used
bro.
to-
Like,
But you DJ.
When I used
don't
to,
have-
when
I
I
mean,
used
I'm a little more informed now. Like I do create music now, like in a way.
You
And I
create
do
vibes.
produce it later.
Mood.
I'll say
But like
this.
Layers.
it was different then versus like now, and I actually produce subtly while
Alright,
I
so
DJ.
I'll say this: when I was in when I lived with Peter Cottontail back in the day,
Yeah.
we would always have these conversations about like producing versus writing, like because like putting together a story is very much like putting together like a piece of production, you know, like a beat.
Yeah.
Because you have to like come back, you have to pick your theme, you have to do all this stuff, you have to stay within the idea. So like it's all relative at the end of the day, you know what I mean?
It is, but they're
Like
it-
Diddy said, he's an
though-
artist.
All right, I like how you said
He's a
it's all, it's
producer.
all relative. I want to reference somebody that none of us are touching because none of us are fucking fine art painters. Kerry James Marshall. He
You don't
did
know
an
shit what I
interview
do in my spare
with his
time.
retrospective.
Facts.
He did his. You say what?
You don't know what the fuck we do in our spare time. Nigga, I do a
Mars, you're making assumptions right now, bro.
Nigga, I'm a BMX rider.
Y'all are trolling
Shout out to
me?
Nigel
Y'all-
Survives.
All right, so
Shout out to my nigga Nigel.
Mars got this new
Kingsley-
hairstyle, now all of a sudden he a whole different
no,
person behind
Kingsley
the mic.
successfully trolled me during the Mind episode when he was talking about Virgil. I will not go for it again because both these motherfuckers are trolling me, and they definitely are getting very close to making me fucking pop off. And I know this, so I'm trying to watch it. All my friends are in here waiting on me to spaz. I'm not about to beat your
But I
butt
mean, like just like the nigga said earlier, you're very, very right, Gianni. You're curating in what space? For who?
Gianni nodded his head plenty of times. Gianni know what the fuck I'm
But
talking
he's right
about.
though. Remember what you said earlier
Yeah,
about
what's
curating?
space because it's a difference. It's a difference between
Hold on, get to the mic. Get to the mic. Get to the mic.
your
Get to the mic.
shitty curation on fucking
Whoa,
18th
shitty
and
curation.
Halsted is not
Oh,
the
18th
same
and-
thing
whoa.
as curating something at the Black Smithsonian, bro. It's two different things. You can be ambitious and you can be good, but you ain't GOAT, my nigga. Fuck politics. Fuck politics, my nigga. If you good enough, you gonna get there. Politics of the art world.
If Hebrew
Politics of the
Bradley
art
started on
world.
18th
So
and
you-
Halsted,
just so you can
and he
get
bubbled to Russian museums,
You say what? If who?
Hebrew could start from 18th and Halsted.
Good form.
Then go to Russian museums. You never know.
What was you
Gianni,
about to say, Gianni? Before I go
point
in?
please.
No,
'Cause
just
y'all niggas
just
got me pressed. I'm hating
Gianni
with shit
Gianni
now.
Onassis. I just wanted to say to my
What's your
point.
Instagram, bro?
Go Nassis, GONASSIS.
Shout out to the new collaboration he has that with Phil.
Yeah,
Lasagna
Falansky all day.
Run that back one more time, Gianni.
All right,
Run
so
your name back one more time.
wait, my
Yeah,
real
spell
name
it out,
or
spell it out. Spell it out. Yo,
but my IG shit
yeah,
GONASSIS.
bang.
That's it. But I was just saying when you were talking about curators. Got you, bro. Curators and critics. It's like, for me, it's always been about who controlled the space and who could say what was dope. Because I know that, like, on the south side of Chicago, where I'm from, it's like, that's where Wallacam came from.
Right.
And that was the most lit shit. But it took how many years for it to get mainstream? Wallacam got dug up because somebody like Chance, who was able to hit the mainstream,
I've been a
where
diehard
now,
Wallacam.
you know what I'm saying? Where
Facts.
niggas was like, oh, now this is dope. In Wallacam, though.
Yeah,
But at the same time, in reverse, it's like being at a gallery in New York, and then you have these people who have the ability to own the space, and they could get to determine, like, you know what I'm saying, like, what's raw. And me and my niggas would squad up, and we'd go in there and be like, man, this shit weak as fuck, bruh.
True.
This a line with a bubble and a piece of tape on the shit. And they said that shit was cold. And I was like, who are the critics who are saying this? Because they got to tell the truth. That's all I'm saying. They bullshitting. And that's my point.
So that's
some critics
goes
are
into
for
like
hire.
that goes into the whole clout culture, right? Like, I've been to events in New York where, like, it was at the shout out Sennheiser for the mics we got, but it's at the Sennheiser pop up out there, and like it was the types of shit where it was like the most head ass environment you've ever seen, but everybody was so excited because something was happening.
Yeah,
and it's just like they acted like it was the biggest thing.
We live in a lab rat culture right
I
now.
think
That's a great way to put it.
I'll just wait till everybody, because I don't want to stop after I start.
You can start. You can start.
You sure?
You can start.
You sure?
I see you, Percy Harvin.
You're Perky Harvin. I'm Tom Brady.
Okay. Win this Super Bowl.
Oh, I won my championship in fantasy. So I've got that ring too.
Oh,
it's a new season, Mars. That doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, that's a good line.
It always matters. What you've
He
done.
beat me 1 year in
matters.
fantasy.
What you've done matters. Yeah, what you've done matters. So once again, I want to
History
start.
doesn't repeat itself, though.
All right, cool. So first off, I want to finish up what I was saying to Jake. You should look at the MCA Kerry James Marshall video when he explains his whole retrospective that he just did. You know, that was last year or whatever, but like it was a really big deal. I know you hip on that shit. So look at those videos. I'll even link you to it. But in one of them, he talked what it means to be an artist. I think, Gianni, you might know what I'm talking about, whatever. Like, there are still these codified rules of, like, going to art school and what it means to be an artist that actual artists still understand and know. Like, there's still a realm of understanding and creating art that exists. Yeah, like, it's still rules. So, like, for us to sit up there and say, like, to shrug it off as if, like, certain people's opinions don't matter, it's like, bro, you don't really know no better. Like, this person actually is there because they do know better. That's the first thing. Like, respect your OGs, because you ain't gonna know shit if you don't respect and listen to your OGs. And your OGs are telling you better. Not every OG is Bill Cosby. It's a lot of OGs out here that's motherfucking Will Smith to fucking Jay-Z. Like, niggas made mistakes. Niggas are still goats in their own regard. Like, Will Smith is, like, still the greatest rapper actor crossover to me personally. As far as especially commercial success and cultural impact.
Summertime.
He can do all of that. He's got hits. Ice-T's definitely
Fuck Ice-T.
No.
Fuck Ice-T.
What?
He don't got no Man in Black. Man in Black 1. Man in Black 2.
Ice-T
Wild
has
West.
a Friday,
Independence
though.
Day.
Ice-T has Friday, though.
Ice-T? He had
Ice-T
Friday. He wasn't in
I'm
Friday.
sorry, not Ice-T, Ice Cube. I'm tweaking. We've been drinking. Sorry, y'all.
Not me.
It's a lot of ice that's been around today. We had to water down the drink. Nah, but yeah, well, Ice-T is definitely a go-to, like, for legacy. Anywho, though, so, like, LL is definitely also.
LL is like number 2 to Will Smith.
All right, so let's not get off track, though. So that's the one thing. It's a lot of cold motherfuckers out there.
DMX was not that much of a good actor.
DMX
What you want from a nigga?
He was not good. Like, he was not good. All right, anywho, though. So that's the one thing. The second thing is this. I fuck with what you're talking about, Gianni, about, like, going to these spaces and, like, who's controlling these institutions. But going to a gallery show is not the same thing as going to an institution show. Like there's a level of prestige of art history, of knowledge of what the fuck you doing, actually curating, that exists between owning a gallery and like having a say so on who gets to go into that space versus actually controlling the dialogue that a true institution puts out there to the people. Real, we can talk about that. We can talk about that. I'm not saying that there are not institutions that are problematic.
No. I want to hear your slight. No, tell me your slight disagreeing.
Run it in,
bro.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Yo, shout out Miles Sauce. Let's get it. Gianni Onassis right here. Once again.
If you don't get your hand off the mic.
My bad, nigga. I don't do this shit often. But yeah, it's that still within, and I guess I'm thinking more so from the mindset of like a black creative. And so my argument comes from the angle of a black creative. Mm-hmm. If we're purely speaking, because going to art school was like this. Art is art, and let's talk about art. But once I got into those spaces, I realized that there was a dynamic of
politics earlier.
Yeah, it was politics and then race and these other. That's why it's such a loaded thing, and it's beautiful when you can, hook up with the homies, and then one homie is black, white, this and that, and you are about the creative process. But even some of these institutions and places I've gone, and people who have the prestige and the influence to do something. That's why I like Virgil Abloh, being like the creative director of Louis Vuitton was like crazy in that moment that everybody was like, what these niggas doing? But it was like, wow, bro, we're just like niggas who came from like the hood. That would be like you and I like doing some shit and say like I'm doing music and then like you're curating some crazy shit, some prestigious shit that never ever happened. That's the kind of hug we would give each other because we know where we come from and know what we had to do to get there and know now we have the power as black creatives to determine culture, even though they've been still in the culture. And when I say they, it's like anyone who don't give props to niggas doing shit from every culture, making a buck off us, and we don't make a dollar in that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
True.
I hope I'm making sense, but just to say, even within the institutional sense, I do agree with you that those people do have more.
They know what the fuck they talking about.
They know what the fuck they talking about. So when you get to that level, like, and it's curated, yes, but also it depends on who you are in that circle to be like
politics,
who is included within that, knowing about everything. You know what I'm saying? Type
so
shit.
I agree. My response to that would be two things. Once again, the first thing is, at the end of the day, like how I agree with what you were saying. Like, these people are still curators. Like 20, 30 years in the game, like there's an art to curation. Like there's an art to picking and choosing, even where the space and place things within an actual art space. Like all of that shit is still very important. There are a lot of rules that goes on with the politics of the art world, though, which goes to my part two. Being a successful artist is not only just being a really good, technically skilled artist. Like the same way that like being like Jay-Z, you can be commercially successful, but you also set the prototype for what it means to be a successful artist from nothing to something. In one way or another, even if like you look up to Lil Wayne versus Hov, Lil Wayne look up to Hov, so by nature, like you look up to Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z is the seed that was planted. There's an art to maneuvering the business side of creation as well. There's an art to the social aspect, like Nicki Minaj. I said she's irrelevant. She did not maneuver the space of being relevant, of being progressively talented, where she could change with the time. She had her thing, it went stale. Now there's a Cardi B who will eventually go stale as well. There's the Migos will go stale. Like there's a lot of shit. It's not just a woman thing, but like being an actual artist, like it takes a lot to be Miles Davis. It takes a lot to be Outkast. It takes a lot to be Jay-Z, bro. Like you have to. It take a lot to be Kanye West, David Bowie. Relevancy, like. All right, so I can barely read it. For you to be able to actually be raw, you have to have your own voice. And your voice has to also be powerful, like to be the GOAT, like to be Prince, Stevie, Mike, Marvin, so on and so forth. Like real standards that we set and what we're aspiring to. You have to really be able to take it home, and you cannot do that by worrying about what the fuck else is out there. You can't worry about numbers, all that shit. You could be Frank Ocean, who does his own thing and still pops the fuck off. And it's a lot of Frank Oceans out there that's worried about what everybody fucking else think. Have your own style. Frank Ocean is making museum-worthy shit right now. And he's going to go into, we all know Frank's going into a museum. Because he's like Sade of our generation. He's the Sade of our, and Sade might eventually get a retrospectum over there in London. And might even travel the world. David Bowie got one for his outfits, bro. Let's not talk about his music and his media. It's about doing your own fucking thing, but also knowing yourself. That's another aspect of being an artist. Picasso and Basquiat were child prodigies. They were raw at a very young age, before puberty. It was already obvious they were going to be who the fuck they were. And they did that shit, invested themselves time and time out, and pushed themselves to the end. They also maneuvered the art world. You got to maneuver whatever space you in because it's an art to dealing with people. Even when I was frustrated, and I got you, I'm about to wrap it up. Even when I was frustrated and said, fuck all y'all, and I retired and all that shit, y'all still say y'all respect my opinion. Because I know this art of what life is. And fucking that is Libra. What living is about. So make sure that you always aspire to live with that grade A living. And if you got some grade A fried chicken, maybe from Hurls or some other place like Uncle Remus, throw some mild sauce up on it. This is the guide to grade A living.
Splashing that drip on that mild sauce platform.
I am Mars. This is Kingsley.
Percocet Jones and I. We out.
Percocet Jones.